iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we have a great one here. It is the Season 2 finale of the American Sim Racing Pro Late Models. Tonight, these drivers will try and tackle the dirt track of Charlotte. Here tonight, we have 100 laps on the books. We'll see these drivers do battle. We have 24 cars on the premise here tonight. We'll take 22 for the season finale. The points championship is all wrapped up by one driver. We'll be talking to a few of the points contenders here throughout the night and at the end of the night. So a lot to be looking forward to as we wrap up practice here. I believe in practice, Justin Thompson in that 98 machine. He's proven he's quick here in the last couple weeks. He sits atop of the charts here in practice. We'll see what he can do here when we head over to qualifying. That is, of course, right about now, folks. First three drivers in group number one is Michael Guerin, Tanner Hutchins, and Tim Mesmer out here. So we will get cars rolling on the speedway here. I believe the first car we have heading out to the track, it is Michael Guerin. Guerin, of course, had some issues at the beginning of the season. Couldn't quite make all the shows, but has been here throughout the rest of the season. Hoping to get those woes behind him here as Michael Guerin off of turn number 4 in the 78 machine. Guerin is on the clock here, lap number 1. These laps got to be so important. This track definitely fading on away, so this early group probably going to have some pretty quick times compared to the rest. Lap number 1 in the book for the 78 machine. He will throw down a 15.11 lap number 1. We'll go to now the board, and it looks like we have Tanner Hutchins out here as well on the speedway. Hutchins in this double OH machine right now, second quick, tied with Tim Mesmer with a 15.01. Looks like Hutchins will not improve on that time. Also, quick time at the moment is the 327 or the 24 on the car. Tim Mesmer is right now quick time with a 15.01 out here tonight as we get ready for our next group. Looks like the first car rolling is that 91 machine of Aaron Kirby. Kirby out here sitting pretty good in the points in the top 10. I believe right around that top 5 bubble. But Kirby hoping to go out with a bang here at the dirt track of Charlotte. Does like these big tracks. The 91 machine now on the clock here. He starts his first time lap tonight. These drivers only getting 2 laps. Kirby nice and low off of turn number 2. this should be a pretty good lap as Kirby heads off of turn number 4. And it looks like Aaron Kirby will go to a 15.02, just stay behind that group. Also, next car we take a look at is the 3M machine. That is Bobby Mattingly out here on the track, uncle of our points leader, Trevor Mattingly out here. Bobby Mattingly still looking for that first win of the season. Also right now, quick time on the track is the 11 machine of Blake Steele. Steele right here, great qualifying effort. Only car so far in the 14 seconds. We'll see if Steele can continue that as we get our next cars rolling out here on the speedway. Looks like we have our quick time of practice. Justin Thompson getting up to speed here. A very long out lap, just going at the start finish line, and that is the reason why we're only doing 2 qualifying laps here tonight. So these guys going around here in a hurry. Justin Thompson off of turn number 4. He is on the clock. Also out there taking some times is, looks like Joseph Grandy in the 518 machine and the 13 of Trevor Manley. Thompson lap number 1 about to come to a close. We'll see what he can do here. He will throw down a 15.01. That will put him good enough for P number 3. Right now, second quick is the 518 machine of Joseph Grandy. Grandy with a great qualifying lap there. That ties him with Blake Steele just behind him, though, for P number 2. Trevor Manley rolls off of here, P number 7. Not the qualifying effort our points leader wanted to see. Of course, tonight, Trevor Manley will start at the back of the field. He did pick up the win last week, so we got our next group of cars rolling out on the speedway. First car we're taking a look at is the 51 of Ron Hart. Ron the Hitman Hart down the backstretch here, winding up that 51 machine. He'll get a piece of the wall there, but that doesn't matter. This is the out lap. This is the lap that matters as the 51 goes on the clock here for the first time. Ron Hart gets a good run off of 2, nice and low. That's the line you want to try and hit. He gets that thing very much rotated into 3. We'll see what kind of lap time that will do. Ron Hart will put in a lap to a 15.12. So right now, P number 10 only for the 51 machine. Also out on the speedway is the 45. That is Andrew Hardings making another start in the dirt series, trying to improve on the dirt side. Hardings doesn't have too much experience, coming out here for the track time and hoping to make his first checkered flag of the season. Also, we have on the track here for his final lap is the 38 ASRC machine. That is Dave Payton headed through turns number 3 and 4. Off at turn number 4, Dave Payton, best lap 15.08. He will slow down to a 15.17 for lap number 2. So that 15.08 will stand for Dave Payton. As we get our next group of cars, we have Chuck Darling, Cam Tucker, and Ricky LeDuc. As the first car we see rolling is that 88 machine. A lot of sponsors on there. Of course, Chuck Darling residing in the Saginaw, Michigan area. A lot of sponsors on that car. That thing always looking sweet, especially on the dirt. That neon green, white, and the black checkered flag always standing on out. Chuck Darling at the start finish line will start his first official time lap. Darling down the backstretch, about a car length and a half up higher than most cars we've seen. Darling trying to find that cushion, try and find some traction out here, as this track is the same track for everyone. So as more cars take some laps, the slower and the groove will definitely move. As also out here on the track is the 53 machine of Cam Tucker. Tucker goes to P number 7. Darling right now 13th with a 15.15. Tucker here will go to a 15.05. So that's a great lap for Cam Tucker. As we get our next group of cars heading out on the speedway. First car we're taking a look at, another Tucker, but this is Jordan Tucker in the 66 machine, wasting no time to get that momentum up. We see him go straight to the high side in 1 and 2. Here in 3 and 4, he'll keep it up there as well. Get that 66 machine wound up here for lap number 1. Jordan Tucker is on the clock here. He'll dive it down into turn number 1. keep some pretty good momentum. Exit very low on the speedway, lower than most. We'll see what kind of lap this will do for the 66 machine. Off of turn number 4 here for lap number 1, Jordan Tucker will jump to only a 15.20. So this track definitely going on away here tonight. Also in this group is the 7 machine, Action Jackson Lewis here. Lewis, very good on the pavement side of things. He was running the show, it seemed like, on the asphalt late model scene, but he's coming over to playing some dirt right now. He puts down a 15.10, and now we'll slide him in on P number 11. As we get our next group of cars, the first car we're taking a look at, he's battling for second in points with his teammate. It is Jacob Laster in the 151 or the 51 on the car. Laster always very quick here. We'll see what kind of lap time he can do. He's all the way at the back though, so we'll see how he can navigate this more and more worn track as Jacob Laster is on the clock here tonight. Laster will throw it down the backstretch here on the loud pedal, get that thing rotated, and tries to keep that momentum. He's got some speed off at turn number 4. Jacob Laster, lap number 1, will shoot him up only to P number 17 though, 15.23. So this track definitely going on away. Also out here on the track is the 9 machine of Dane Lloyd. Lloyd out here had one of his best runs, I believe, at USA, or yeah, at USA. He's hoping to keep that momentum as he will, looks like, slide in at P number 19. Also in this group, the best car in that group, a 15.15, that being done by this driver in the 789 Designs car. That is Garrett Marshall. As we get our next car rolling on the speedway, it is the 002 machine of Clifford Bellamy. Bellamy, of course, part of that Hot Lap Hero gang. All these cars rolling in late are part of it here tonight in these last couple of groups. All those cars in the last group was on it. Same with this 02 machine. Bellamy only good for, I believe, a 15. Here's his first time here off of turn number 4. Bellamy a little bit of bobble off of turn number 4. That will only put him to a 15.25. Also out on the speedway is the 37 machine. Our current second place holder, I believe, Brandon Marlowe, out here trying to find some speed late in this qualifying effort. Only a 15.22. Also out on the speedway now, best guy in this group is the 88 of Jacob Smith. Smith has shown some speed here. He's trying to put a whole race together, as I believe we have one final car to take to track. That is the 5 machine of Daryl Larson, also part of that very large, very fast group of guys in the Hot Lap Hero stable. But Daryl Larson off of turn number 4, he will take his first time of the night. He is on the clock here. Larson will keep it down on the low line in 1 and 2 right as the lights click on the speedway, so we get ready for some night racing as the sun continues to set here as Daryl Larson, lap number 1, a great lap here late in the session, a 15.11. That puts him all the way up to P number 13, but you can see, folks, how close these times are, that a 15.11 shoots him all the way up to P number 13, whereas a 15.22 would be good only for 21st. So these times are very close, but Blake Steele gets the job done here in qualifying with the quick time of 14.95. That is a great lap by the 11. So congrats to Blake Steele as we get ready now to head over to our qualifying efforts here. Or excuse me, as we wrap up qualifying efforts, we head on over to our heat races as we get heat race number 1 getting ready to be locked and loaded here for our season finale. Heat race number 1 is looking like the following. The 11 of Blake Steele with the quick time will lead the field to the green flag. To his outside is the OH machine, double OH machine. Let's get it right here, folks. It is Tanner Hutchins. Row number 2, starting in third, is the 3M of Bobby Manley, with the 5 of Darrell Larson on his outside. 5th going to the 66 of Jordan Tucker, with Brandon Marlowe in that 37 machine rolling off 6th. And starting back of heat race number 1 is the 196, or the 96 on the car. That is Ricky Leduc. As the field here heads to the start finish line, we get the 1 to go signal, so lights going out around the speedway here. We are going green next time by here in heat race number 1. Blake Steele leading the field to the green flag here tonight for our first green flag of our season finale here at the Dirt Track of Charlotte. Of course, you guys won't want to miss it. We have a 100-lap main event. We talked about tire saving ever since this update came out, and there'll be a lot of that here tonight as they got to try and manage that right rear for 100 laps. But first, it's our short dashers. Heat race number 1 is firing on off. Blake Steele on the loud pedal here. We go green flag racing at the Dirt Track of Charlotte. Blake Steele gets a great run, able to get about 2 car lengths out, as now Tanner Hutchins and Bobby Manley go side by side for P number 2. Looks like Hutchins now has the momentum. He'll be able to defend that second place spot. Mattingly will slot into 3rd, and Brandon Marlowe trying to work the top side of Darrell Larson. That is for 4th position here. Now here we have 4 heat races, so that means I believe we take the top 4 still. So right now that means Brandon Marlowe on the bubble here, as now Jordan Tucker and Darrell Larson go side by side here. As Larson gets a little bit tight, he has to get on the binders. That allows Jordan Tucker to go on by Larson. If he kept his foot in it, probably would have tagged his teammate there, Brandon Marlowe, and that would not have ended good up front. Tanner Hutchins has reeled in Blake Steele for this heat race lead. We get the cross flags here halfway down in heat race number 1. So far, clean and green, as Tanner Hutchins keeping the pressure on Blake Steele for the race lead. Steele about a car length to 2 car lengths higher in the corner. Steele trying to carry that momentum. Hutchins just trying to go where that leader is not. Get some clean track in front of him. See where those lift points are at. As you can already see for a split second there on this camera, folks, we get some slick stuff starting to form on corner entry already here tonight. So this track is going to change a lot, especially for heat races, then a 100-lap main event. As Tanner Hutchins all over the back bumper. This time by the field will see the white flag. 1 more lap to go here at the Dirt Track of Charlotte. Blake Steele had to wait a split second to get on the throttle. This could open up the door for Hutchins. Hutchins gonna take advantage, gonna send a big slider and off at turn number 4. It's gonna be a drag race. Tanner Hutchins is gonna get it at the line. So Tanner Hutchins picks up heat number 1 win. Blake Steele 2nd, Bobby Manley 3rd, and Brandon Marlowe will round out the top 4, making it in to tonight's big dance. Heat race number 2 already set and gridded here on the track. We're going to go give you the rundown of who's in heat race number 2. The 518 machine of Joseph Grandy. He's had some great qualifying efforts the last few weeks. He'll lead the field to the green flag. Aaron Kirby in the 91 machine, like in his view here in heat race number 2. He starts on the front row on the outside. Row number 2 being made up of Dave Payne in that 38 machine, rolling off 3rd. And 4th being the 51 machine of Ron Hart. 5th will go to the 88 of Jacob Smith. And Jacob Laster will start shotgun on heat race number 2. Gonna have to make some moves and try and get up to the front here, as top 4 making it to the main. Everyone else going to have to go to the B main, where 2 cars will not advance. So if you're in the B main here tonight, there is a chance you might not make the big show, as we get the 1 to go signal from Barney the Flagman, and the lights go out around the speedway next time by. We will go green flag racing here tonight. Down the backstretch of field will come Grandy. Will slow him down to a good crawl. He'll wait to jump on the loud pedal. Gets on it early here and off at turn number 4. Heat race number 2 is underway. They'll dive it down into turn number 1. Aaron Kirby had a great run in the corner there. Almost got a nose inside, but Grandy has the momentum on the top side off at turn number 4. Grandy will lead lap number 1 of heat race number 2. In tow is Aaron Kirby, and then Dave Payne trying to hold off Ron Hart, who will cut off his nose, and that opens up the door for Jacob Lasser, who will make it 3 wide here at the dirt track of Charlotte. That's one good thing. It's more contact between the 251s on the speedway. Everyone able to keep it going, and just some light little bumper tag there, a little door bang. Never hurt anyone here. As I was about to say, folks, this dirt track of Charlotte, very, very wide both in the corners and on the straightaways, so we'll see drivers taking 4, 5, 6 different lines throughout this race, especially once this track continues to get more and more worn on out and this groove goes closer and closer to the wall, as Lasser has fallen on back to that 6th position. Out in front, Joseph Grandy is checking on out here in heat race number 2. He has extended about 3/4 of a second over Aaron Kirby here with 3 laps to go. Kirby still sits in second. Dave Payne trying to sniff some blood of Kirby, but they kind of sit dead even here. Ron Hart still hanging on to that bubble spot in that 4th position. As this time by, we will see 2 laps to go. So unless if anyone makes a big mistake, I'm willing to bet that we'll probably stay in this finishing order here. As this time off at turn number 4, Joseph Grandy will see the white flag here. 1 more lap to go in heat race number 2. We'll head down the backstretch for the final time, being led by the 518 machine. He'll dive it down here through 3 and 4 and off at turn number 4. Grandy goes flag to flag, picks up heat win number 2. Aaron Kirby 2nd, Dave Payne 3rd, and Ron Hart last car on the bubble to make it in to the show. Heat race number 3 on the speedway here, and we'll run through the starting order. Justin Thompson once again on the front row of a heat race. He'll lead heat race number 3 to the green flag. To his outside is the 53 machine that is being piloted by Cam Tucker. Then we have the short track pavement ace Jackson Lewis in row number 2, rolling off in P number 3. Chuck Darling starts in the bubble spot in P number 4 in that 88. Kyle Munson making the first trip to the dirt here tonight at the dirt track of Charlotte. He will roll off 5th. And Clifford Bellamy in that double 02 machine will roll off in P number 6 here for heat race number 2. That will do it for the starting lineup. As this time by, once again, we get the 1 to go signal. Lights are out on the speedway. We get ready to turn them loose here in just 1 lap. As we have a lot of great talent in this heat race, we'll have to see who can pick up a heat win. Can Justin Thompson do another one this season? Thompson, of course, very hungry for a feature win. He's coming in late this season, but still wants to make that impact, pick up the win, especially with this caliber of cars, as we have 24 on the premise here. But here through 3 and 4, the field will roll just a little bit. And here we go on the loud pedal. We go green flag racing here for heat race number 3 of the night. Thompson was floated on in there a little bit, door banging further on back. I believe Kyle Munson got into the side of Chuck Darling. As we take a look here, battle for second. Jackson Lewis right around that inside lane. He knows that's quick on the pavement side, but he's making it pretty quick here on the dirt. Jackson Lewis to second, and now maybe even a shot at the heat lead here as Jackson gets a piece of that inside tire. That will definitely impact the car, as now Cam Tucker will go down to that inside lane side by side here for that second position, as Jackson Lewis got a piece of that infield tire. That's something these drivers have to keep in mind here tonight, as you can run down there. You might find a little bit of speed, but it could cost you dearly, as if you hit one of those tires, it could spell big time trouble in a hurry. Somehow, all these drivers hanging on to it. Now Cam Tucker, a little bit of nose damage. He's trying to hang on to third, and he's got Chuck Darling behind him. Darling trying to get out of that bubble spot, give himself a little bit of breathing room, because right now he has Clifford Bellamy right on his back bumper in case that 88 makes a mistake, and he could capitalize on it here and try and race his way into the big show and not have to go to this B main. So some good racing action here from second on back, as Justin Thompson has checked out big time here in heat race number 3. Almost 2-second advantage over the rest of these cars trying to race their way into the big show here tonight. So Jackson Lewis to the left of our screen here, he sits second. Cam Tucker in third, right in the middle. Chuck Darling fourth with that double 02 machine of Bellamy in fifth, trying to race his way in. Bellamy's just gonna have to do it here. This is gonna be his chances. Contact in the back. Bellamy's gonna jump out of it, do the gentleman's move. Man, that is something you don't see too much on iRacing, and I gotta give a huge credit to him. He made contact, let Chuck Darling gather back up and get back in that spot. So I gotta give Bellamy a huge shout out for that. That was very gentlemanly, and that is definitely something we always appreciate, and that is definitely you see a lot of at ASRC. And you know, that wasn't for nothing, folks, either. That was for a transfer spot to make sure you make it in the big dance here tonight. So that kind of racecraft is definitely awesome to see here at the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Model Series. So after I get off that high horse here, folks, we're gonna head to heat race number 4, the final heat race of the night. Here, Tim Mesmer in the 24 machine or the 327 on the car will lead the field to green. Then to his outside, our points leader, and as long as he starts the feature event, he'll be our champion for 2 seasons in a row. Trevor Mattingly will roll off second. Third being Michael Guerin in that 78 machine, with Garrett Marshall in the 789 Designs car rolling off fourth. Dan Lloyd in the 9 will start MP number 5, and starting shotgun on heat race number 4 is that 45 machine of Andrew Hardings. As we get the 1 to go signal here, next time by we will uncork heat race number 4 and try and wrap up our heat races here tonight. So far, no yellow flags in the heat races. Hopefully I didn't just jinx all of them as we get ready to go. Green flag racing here. Top 4 lock themselves into the main race. Everyone else going to the B main here tonight. Off of turn number 4, Tim Mesmer leading the field to green. He'll jump on the loud pedal here, and we go green flag racing for the final time in heat races here tonight. Heat race number 4 is underway. Mesmer gets away with a great start, but here comes Trevor Manley to the back bumper, about a half a car length between him. Now not even that, as they go door to door here off of turn number 4. Mesmer has the advantage with the momentum on the top. Garrett Marshall able to slide into a comfortable third position, as now Michael Guerin trying to hold back the 9 or 45 as Andrew Harding's trying to make a charge. You love to see that from that 45 machine. Looking for some sponsorship throughout the season. He's trying to make the big dance here tonight, but right now Michael Guerin sits in that transfer spot as we got slide jobs for the race lead in heat race number 4. Trevor Manley kept his foot in the throttle through 1 and 3 and 4, and he gets one thrown right back as Mesmer will do the same. Mattingly tries to get the run right to the quarter panel. He'll send it back. He'll bring the airmail back, and these guys duking it out here for the heat race. We got slide job cities for heat number 4 out in front. As this time by, they go door to door into the corner. Mattingly maybe a little bit better at the sliders because he's getting the advantage now. Mesmer on the back foot, only up to the quarter panel of the 13 machine as these guys continue to throw it on down here for the heat race win. Mesmer again with the charge down low. Trevor Manley up top. This time we see 2 laps to go as they continue to throw it on down. Right now, further on back, no changes to anyone else. It goes these 2 battling. Garrett Marshall third, Michael Guerin in fourth, as Guerin is getting caught by Lloyd, but I don't think he has enough time as we see the white flag, and these guys still going at it as Trevor Manley down the backstretch one more time. We'll throw it to the inside off of turn number 4. It's going to be a drag race. Mesmer went high, tried to get the run. It's photo finish, and Mattingly will just beat him out by 3 hundredths of a second. Trevor Manley will get the job done. Michael Guerin able to hang on to the bubble spot, but wow, what a race there for a heat win here tonight as Trevor Manley picks up heat number 4 win. And man, that was a race here tonight. As we get locked and loaded here for tonight's B main event, I believe we have the top 6 going to the main event. So 3 cars not making it here tonight. We have a lot of big names here in the B main, but we'll run through that here in a second. Jordan Tucker in the 66 will lead the field to the green flag. To his outside is Jacob Smith in that 88. Starting in P number 3 is the 002 of Clifford Bellamy. Dan Lloyd in the 9 will roll off fourth. 5th being the 5 car of Darrell Larson. 6th and starting in the bubble spot is Jacob Laster. 7th is Kyle Munson in the 8. 8th is the 45 of Andrew Hardings, and rolling off 9th in shotgun on the field is Ricky LeDuc in the 96. As this time by, we get the 1 to go signal here tonight. As folks, it's going to be a short, this will be the final race here tonight for 3 of these drivers. So we're going to pan through the field because 3 of them not making it past this B main here tonight. 12 laps to decide who makes it to the big 100-lapper season finale here coming up here in just a moment. But first, we got to pick our 6 cars that make it on through. So Jordan Tucker's having the best seat in the house in the B main. He's leading the field to the green flag, and off of turn number 4, Jordan Tucker on the loud pedal. We go green flag racing here for tonight's B main event. 12 laps of distance. Tucker already trying to check on out, but here comes Jacob Smith on that top side with that momentum. Battle for a third here as Dan Lloyd trying to work the top side of Clifford Bellamy in that 002 machine. Lap number 1 in the books. We have 12 laps to go as further on back, a little bit of contact between the 45 and the 196 as 2x2, and that's right in front of Jacob Laster and Darrell Larson. Neither of those cars having too much room to go, as I know Laster wants to move out of that spot. He doesn't want to be the car on the bubble in case something does happen, able to get 2 spots there in that corner. As it looks like Clifford Bellamy a little bit out of sorts. Hopefully he can get to that top side and get that car back under power. It looks like maybe he does. He's still committed to that inside line, finally back up to the top side, but move that 002 machine to the bubble spot here tonight. Already 4 laps down in the book. Jordan Tucker here, I believe slide jobs here for the race lead as Tucker and now Jacob Smith going at it for the B main win here tonight. As these guys side by side, dives it down into turn number 1. Tucker not quite clear. Smith will keep it on the power. It looks like Smith will take over the point. So Jacob Smith, new race leader here in the B main. He will take over the point and lead at the cross flags halfway down, halfway home in tonight's B main event. 2nd is Jordan Tucker. 3rd going to Dan Lloyd. 4th is Jacob Laster making up 2 spots. 5th is the 5 of Darrell Larson and Clifford Bellamy hanging on to P number 6. First car out looking in is that 96 machine of Ricky LeDuc. He had to start deep in this field and try and make up some ground, and he's trying to do just that as LeDuc trying to catch the back bumper of that 002 machine. As he might do it there, Bellamy in the wall there in 3 and 4. Here comes Ricky LeDuc. Here, LeDuc will send it big time and almost get clear. Not quite. They make contact. LeDuc able to save it, but now has to try and rerun down that 002 machine. So 1 car in the wall in 3 and 4. I believe that's a 45 machine of Andrew Harding. So I believe Hardings may have jumped the cushion, as now we see, folks, everyone up against the wall pretty much here tonight. We have about a half a car length to the wall as everyone moving that cushion on up. Everyone's pushing that cushion, as they like to say here, as we see popsicle sticks up in the air for this B main. Out in front, Jacob Smith will see the white flag. He has checked out over the field. Jacob Smith leads the way, but we got to look a little bit further back, as could be a battle for the transfer spot. Bellamy trying to go to the inside of Larson. This could open up the door for LeDuc. LeDuc, does he have something? Yes, he does. In the final corner, he'll sail it on in there, get a piece of the inside tire. LeDuc will not make it with that move. He tried to sail it in there deep, sent it all he's got, and just came up so close as that would do it. But Jacob Smith picking up the win here in the B main, so we'll be talking to him in just a little bit. But man, heck of some racing here tonight as we head over to warm up. We'll be right back after commercial break. On the other side, we'll be talking to Jacob Smith, our B main winner. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we head back now to the dirt track of Charlotte and trying to get a word with the B main winner. He's out of the car. We have Jacob Smith here. Jacob, you got a copy of Brett the Jet in the booth here?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, Jacob. Heck of a B main there. You and Jordan Tucker putting on a show there for the battle for the win, and then you set sail and checked on out. Tell us about that B main and how your car's feeling here for the main.
B-Main was pretty good. Had a good race. Had a good race with second place. He raced me clean, so if he's gonna race me clean, I raced him clean. Overall, car feels pretty good. It's a little tight here and there, but I'm sure come race time, it'll be sorted out, ready to go.
Yeah, Jacob. And tonight we see our longest distance of the season, a big 100-lapper here tonight. Everyone's got to be thinking about that right rear. You'll start in P number 17. I assume you'll take it easy for a little bit, save that right rear, and turn it up for sure in the second half of the race. Or what's the game plan?
Yeah, pretty much just save the right rear as much as possible. It's 100 laps, so I got plenty of time to save the tires, save the car, but not, go a lap down. So save as much as I can. I'm sure there'll be a caution somewhere on the halfway point. If there is, then that's when we'll turn it up and see if we can put on the podium.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Jacob, I believe you coming in here around the second half of the season. I mean, what do you think about this group, this race in action? And you're part of that big, huge hot lap hero stable, and that's the guys you want to be hanging around, it seems like.
Oh, yeah, the Hot Lap guys, they've been good to me since I've joined them almost a year now. They've helped me out a ton, just either with the setups, make my car look good, just everything I could think of. But as far as this group, I've had a blast racing the second half of the season. Plan is to run the full fall season with these guys, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you out there on track as an 88 machine, always in the mix. It seems like uh, whatever track we go to. I mean, Jacob, do you have a favorite track, let's say, when it comes to the iRacing simulator?
I'm a big cushion guy, so Eldora and Port Royal are probably my two favorite tracks on the sim right now.
Yeah, those are definitely some good tracks to race at. Well, it looks like we're calling drivers to their cars. So, Jacob, before we let you go and get ready for this 100 lapper, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank.
I gotta thank High Lap Heroes mainly for them. They've helped me out a bunch. Performance wise, driving ability, and overall just being a better person on the sim. Gotta thank my good buddy Kenny for making me look good while I'm up in the front racing these guys, and gotta thank our good sponsor, Marcos Moose Ranch. Without him, we wouldn't be where we are today.
All right,
So
guys, here we go. Let's go ahead and
hopefully we
get gridded
can
up
put on
the
a show
front
for y'all.
straightaway. Once everybody's gridded up, I got a couple
Alrighty,
of things
Jacob.
I need to
Well,
go over
best of
that
luck
I did
here
not mention
for
in the
this
drivers
100
meeting,
lapper.
so,
We'll catch you on the
as
flip
soon as
side.
everybody's up,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
talk
Thank
about
you.
some stuff.
Alrighty, folks, that was our B main winner, Jacob Smith, getting the job done there. He's getting ready for the main event. And tonight, we have it rocking and rolling. We get drivers here to the front stretch. We get ready to rock and roll here for the season finale. Starting in row number 1, leading the field to the green flag, will be the double OH machine of Tanner Hutchins. To his outside is the 518 machine of Joseph Grandy. Starting in third is the 98 of Justin Thompson. Fourth going to Trevor Manley, who will go to the back and start shotgun on the field since winning last week at Wheat Sport. Fifth being Blake Steele in the 11. Sixth going to Aaron Kirby in the 91. Seventh is the 7 of Jackson Lewis. Eighth is the 24, the 327 on the car of Tim Mesimer. Ninth is Bobby Manley in the 3M. Rounding out the top 10 is the 38 of Dave Payne. 11th is Cam Tucker in the 53. 12th is Garrett Marshall. 13th is Brandon Marlowe in the 37. 14th is Ron Hart in the 51. 15th is Chuck Darling in the 88. 16th is Michael Guerin in the 78. 17th is Jacob Smith. 18th is Jordan Tucker. 19th, Jacob Lesser. 20th is Daryl Larson. Final row, Dan Lloyd in the 9, in starting 21st. And 22nd is Clifford Bellamy, just making the show. And folks, it's everyone's favorite time here tonight. We will double up the field. So 4 wide salute here for the fans and for another great season of the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Model Series. We'll get them all figured on out here tonight. And check that. Not one to go yet. And here we go, folks. We get them all lined on up. One of the best feats. And you don't see this too often in sim racing. It is very hard to do. But here, we'll do it here tonight. Off of turn number 4. They'll be waving at you. You got to wave back, fans. It is the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Model Series drivers here tonight in the world famous 4 wide salute here on the front stretch. And a great group of cars here. And look at that, folks. That even gives me goosebumps up in, and this is just virtual racing people saying, man, it is awesome to see as we get everyone sorted back on out. And you gotta love to see it as we get everyone lined back on up here on the field. As we get everyone sorted on out, this time by, we get the 1 to go signal here tonight. Next time by, we'll turn them all loose for 100 laps here at the dirt track of Charlotte. I see we got some activity in the YouTube chat lands. We got Caleb out there. Good to see you, Caleb. Thanks for tuning on in here tonight. And then, of course, we got the E-Man, Eric out there tuning on in. I believe Eric had his best finish over the weekend on the dirt. That's always great to see. And we got a lot of other fun facts from this series. It looks like we didn't quite get everyone right in the right spot, so they put on the yellow lights here one more time. This time by, we'll try it again here. 1 to go, signal being displayed again. Tanner Hutchins, Joseph Grandy, front row. Grandy was great at Cedar Lake. He checked on out and put some cars a lap down. Will he have the same MO, or will he turn it on back for 100 laps? A lot of strategy going on tonight, because if one car turns it loose, the rest of the field has to kind of keep on up, use up some stuff to prevent from going that lap down. But here off of turn number 4, for the final time this season, we go green flag racing here tonight at the dirt track of Charlotte. Tanner Hutchins is away and jumps straight to that top side. Hutchins will lead the way. Blake Steele with a great run down low. Joseph Grandy will go door to door with him as everyone sorts themselves on out. Lap number 1 here in the books. 3 wide for second here as Blake Steele right now in the sucker hole. Steele able to kind of, I guess, still keep that middle. He didn't really commit to the bottom or the top, but here comes action. Jackson Lewis ripping that bottom side. He will lead lap number 2 as he tries to check on out. He has the pedal to the metal. He says tire saving. I don't know what that is here tonight as Jackson Lewis tries to check on out, force everyone else to be on the same strategy as him, and that is not to save any tire. We look throughout the field here, some 3 wide racing action throughout the corners as we see Blake Steele trying to save that right rear in that middle line. Bobby Manley trying to go on the low side. Joseph Grandy keeping pace with the 11 on the top side. We see a little bit of bottlenecking here as once again 3 wide off of turn number 4. Here comes Michael Guerin and maybe even Jordan Tucker in that 66 machine. These guys are on a move. Same with Mesimer. Mesimer, highest car on the track. He's trying to make that very tip-top work here as we get a little bit of bumper tag here in turn number 3. It is a race here for the season finale at the dirt track of Charlotte. We look at Michael Guerin now in the middle trying to make up some track position, and he is doing just that, making that inside line work. Grandy learning from Cedar Lake. He is on the big time tire save on that top lane, taking it easy, taking care of that right rear, and hoping to turn it up here in the second half as he goes to the front row all the way outside of the top 10 now. As a little bit of contact further on back right behind Bellamy and Jordan Tucker making contact. I don't think Tucker realized they were 3 wide, and once again, they'll be 3 wide down the back stretches. Tucker seems like he's all go here at the moment. 9 laps in the books here. And so far, Jackson Lewis out in front on his own. Second place going to the 91 to Aaron Kirby. If Kirby could hang on to this spot, this would be a career best finish for that 91 machine. As we take a look throughout this field, everyone kind of slowing on down, everyone kind of spacing themselves out, finding where their pace is on the track and keeping right there. One battle on the track right now is the 789 Designs car of Garrett Marshall with Blake Steele on his inside. Blake Steele has been committed to that middle, if not bottom line, and so far has not moved from that spot here tonight. So Jackson Lewis continues to increase his gap, now about a 3-second advantage over Aaron Kirby. So Lewis gonna be catching the back of the field here in a hurry as Darrell Larson, last car on the speedway, I believe Bellamy having some technical issues. He is maybe off the speedway here, but Darrell Larson through 3 and 4, and that is only the gap to our race leader Jackson Lewis. We take a look a little bit wider camera, and you can see the gap difference here as we look a little bit further back. Some side-by-side racing action. Michael Guerin continues to drive through the field in that 78 machine. Guerin almost up into the top 5, making that middle line work as he has cars both kind of hanging out on that inside lane or that very top lane. We haven't seen it blown off yet all the way to the wall, but it is only a matter of time before we see that. As we get a little bit of love to the 53 machine of Cam Tucker. Always a sweet looking car with that black, white, and pink. Caleb out there in the YouTube chat land says that is a sweet looking car, but a lot of great looking cars out here tonight, and especially in that 4 wide salute. Man, there's not much better on dirt track racing. Maybe the racing action we see here tonight, that is definitely putting up a good candidate for that 4 wide salute we saw earlier tonight, as we continue to say green flag from heat race number 1 here tonight. We have not seen a yellow flag fall yet, as everyone continues to dice on up and try and figure out where they slot into on pace. As Michael Guerin now up into P number 3. He's trying to chase down now Aaron Kirby for second, as Guerin will drive it down low, slide Aaron Kirby. Michael Guerin from 16th on the grid all the way up to P number 2. Guerin up 14 spots from where he started here tonight, and he's not slowing on down yet, as 20 laps in the book. Michael Guerin in second, but this guy all by himself out in front. Jackson Lewis about 3.5 second advantage over now Michael Guerin, and Lewis gonna see some lap traffic and just in front of him. Heavy lap traffic, as some drivers trying to turn it on up here to prevent from going that lap down. One car we saw do it was that 5, but now the likes of Jacob Laster, our second place in points right there as well. Trevor Mattingly, our points leader and gonna be our season number 2 champion right there. Even our third in points, Brandon Marlowe, right in front of this gaggle of cars that our race leader has just started to cut into here tonight. We take a look at our race leader. That is the 7 of Jackson Lewis out here in front. He's able to get clear now of Ron Hart, and now they catch Chuck Darling slow down low, and now Darrell Larson even slower on the top side, so Larson will go lap down. Same with Ron Hart, but here comes Larson trying to fight that lap back here. Larson doesn't want to go lap down here early. Chuck Darling will go a lap down in that 88 machine. And here comes Jackson Lewis trying to keep people on their toes. I knew one guy was going to do it here tonight, and that being the 7. He says, I'm going to turn it up, make everyone else use up their stuff. Here comes Ron Hart, though, to try and get that lap back the hard way. We keep an eye on the race leader, working through heavy lap traffic here tonight at the dirt track of Charlotte. We got a GoPro on the car, so why don't we use it? Jackson Lewis riding on board with our race leader here tonight. And you can see the group of cars, a little bit of contact to a lapper. That was to the back bumper of our third in points, Brandon Marlowe. Now Jackson Lewis trying to go to the top side, and he can see 3 wide in front of him of lap cars. Jackson Lewis not gonna have too much room. This time he'll split the middle. Jackson Lewis now around Brandon Marlowe. So Marlowe got to keep right on the back bumper of the 7, because one car does get the wave around if a yellow flag does fall at some point. But right now that going to Ron Hart. Ron Hart keeping right on the back bumper of our race leader in case we do get that yellow here tonight. And now Jackson sets up the 9 of Dan Lloyd. Further on back, we got some battles for positions. These guys have been side by side, I want to say, all night long. They have now caught 3rd place Aaron Kirby, 4th of Bobby Manley, 5th Dave Payton having a solid run here tonight in that 38 machine. Tanner Hutchins on the top side, 6th, and then a whole gaggle of cars from 7th on back. Blake Steele is still committed to that bottom middle line and still making it work, as he is keeping those cars on the top side honest here tonight. A little bit of interesting thing here. This 327 or the 24 in the scoring. Tim Mesmer just put in his fastest lap of the session, a 16.0. That puts him on par with a lot of the quick guys at the beginning of the race. So Mesmer turning it up here right around lap 30, and that is because Jackson Lewis is now a handful of spots behind. Jackson Lewis trying to put down one lap. Our points leader, Trevor Mattingly, going a lap down. I didn't think I'd ever be saying that, folks, but here tonight with this long race, we see it here, folks, as, a little bit of contact from Ron Hart to Jackson Lewis. These guys going at it. Ron Hart trying his hardest to not go a lap down and just stay on the lead lap, as we see now Tim Mesmer going one lap down as well on the top side. Mesmer going to try and throttle up here off of turn number 4, but it will not be enough. Now Mesmer and Hart battle for one lap down. Jackson Lewis has lapped into the top 15 now, so the bottom 15 all one lap down. The first car not one lap down. Our B main winner, Jacob Smith, he said he's saving tires till about that halfway point caution. So far not to the halfway point, but race leader about 10 car lengths back, but once again under fire from Ron Hart. Ron Hart trying to turn it up and maybe walk away from him. Same with Mesmer. Mesmer able to roll the top side and try and get away from our race leader. Our race leader with this heavy lap traffic is getting caught by the 78 machine of Michael Guerin. Guerin having a great early run. This would be by far a career best for the 78 machine. So Guerin having a run of his life here so far. We're going to go jump on board, looking back to the rest of the field because he has some gap, let's say, to the rest of those cars. We jump on board with our second place runner and we take a look, take a listen to him working the throttle here in P number 2. You can see those lap times though, about a second and a quarter off the times of his quick time. So that shows you how much these cars are falling on away here tonight. So Michael Guerin sits in second, and then about a half a track back, 8 seconds back, we go to our third place driver. That is now Dave Payton able to get around Aaron Kirby. So Payton trying to tiptoe around this middle bottom lane, and he's doing that well. He's up to P number 2, and we'll see where Jackson Lewis is. I mean, he's about, just over a quarter track back from our third place driver. So that shows you what kind of race we got on our hands tonight, as Jackson Lewis hoping this race goes green till the end, because if he does, he has a big cushion till the end. But so far still not even halfway done with this race. We look a little bit of 3 wide race in action here on the speedway. Cam Tucker, Dan Lloyd, Jacob Smith, Blake Steele, Jordan Tucker, all in a gaggle here. Those 5 cars under a blanket as these guys race in about 10th on back to the last car on the lead lap. These guys all battling here, as once again 3 wide here, Tucker up top, Steele in the middle, and here comes Jacob Smith. He probably said, I got to turn it up a little bit early just to prevent from going a lap down and maybe get some track position in that 88 machine. These guys making it tough on a broadcaster in a great way. I have not had a break to think, let alone get a drink of water or anything. We are feeling parched, but we got to keep the show rolling as we got racing action all over the speedway here. As you look a little bit further up now, Jordan Tucker trying to reel in the guy that led the field to green. Tanner Hutchins falling back to the 10th position, has been on that top side. It seemed like the drop of the green flag, just trying to save that right rear. You see how straight he enters in these corners. We're going to try to ride on board here with Tanner Hutchins and see what he is doing to save these tires and see that car. I mean, look at this thing. He's driving in there like it's pavement racing. Very little yaw here, except for when he gets on the binders, when he gets that rear end activated, let's say, gets it up on the bars and gets a little bit sideways off the corner. But especially here in the one, folks, I mean, Tanner Hutchins doing a master class. This time not so much, of really taking care of that right rear with as little yaw as he can possibly get. So Hutchins maybe turning it up just a little bit, does not want to fall in that pack because he can see race leader is catching the back of that pack here tonight. Once again, Jackson Lewis lapping up into 15th place, 15th right now, sitting that 51 of Ron Hart. Hart still pestering Lewis to try and get that lap back. Now Lewis will cross him on over and go to the bottom, as both these cars now, Ron Hart battling for position with these guys. Jackson Lewis trying to put these guys a lap down. That time by, folks, though, we saw cross flags here tonight. Halfway down, halfway home in our season finale at the dirt track of Charlotte. So a lot of great racing action as we get 3 wide here with our race leader, Jackson Lewis, up on the top side. Mesmer, Hart, both trying to get their laps back. Speaking about Ron Hart, he had a great race last night at the Owasso Speedway, actually able to park that car in victory lane as we get a gaggle. Oh man, folks, this is where it gets wild. Further up front, more bottlenecking as I believe Grandy and maybe Bobby Manley got together. More contact as Ron Hart goes in the middle. Jackson Lewis on the low side, 4 wide here at the dirt track of Charlotte. Man, oh man, Jackson Lewis, I know he has nerves of steel on the pavement side, but he's got to be feeling a little bit. This heavy lap traffic he is in, he's got to be feeling it. He knows how to navigate it on the pavement side, but man, this dirt side, a whole different animal, and he's making it work pretty good. He's able to keep these guys honest here as now Trevor Manley on the top side, getting his lap back in the 13T, so Trevor Manley turning up the wick. He knows laps are counting down if we don't get a yellow, but most importantly, as these laps count on down, track position's going to be harder and harder to get as this track continues to get blown on off. Now Mesmer against the wall in corner entry. You can definitely tell Jackson Lewis not as strong as corner exit as some of these guys, but then he jumps to the top side and looks like he's got what he lost back. I mean, you gotta wonder how killed all those tires. I mean, Jackson Lewis, one of the best to manage tires, but also drive an ill-handling race car, and we'll see what he's got here in the last 40 as we come up to that point. Right in front of him, though, battles continue to happen as Joseph Grandy here in the thick of it. He's got Garrett Marshall, Blake Steele right in front of him, Bobby Manley to his inside. I mean, this is some awesome racing. 3 wide here once again at the dirt track of Charlotte. They will touch doors and sail it on into turn number 3, and everyone able to continue to make it on through. It's Ron Hart now to the top side. He's trying to get some track position here, and here comes Tanner Hutchins as well on the top. Jacob Smith, our B-main winner right there as well. He's on top of 3 here with Blake Steele and Bobby Manley to his inside. So Jackson Lewis losing this pack just a little bit, even though these guys are 3, even sometimes 4 wide. Jackson Lewis just doesn't quite have that speed he had early. Yeah, I wonder how much are those tires continuing to fade here, or maybe he says, hey, I got an 11-second cushion. No need to get caught up in something that I didn't need to be a part of. And maybe he says, I got the cushion, let me just ride it on out, let these guys navigate it, as he sees 3, almost 4 wide racing action in front of him. So our points leader, Trevor Manley, now trying to turn up the wick. He has climbed back up into P number 15 and making the top side work, now trying to work over Cam Tucker on the high side. We got to ride on board with our points leader and see what he is seeing. I mean, tons of craziness out in front of him. I mean, look at that. Dave Payton is the car leading the field just there into turn number 3, and that is 2nd position. And I mean, everyone from 2nd to 15th as we're riding on board with Trevor Manley, all in a straightaway here in the back half of this 100-lapper. I mean, this is awesome to see here, folks. Maybe we jump on board with the driver sitting in 2nd. We got to jump on board looking back at the rest of the field. This is Dave Payton currently in his best ever running spot on the dirt. He's up on the podium, but you can see that gaggle of cars on the backstretch as they head into turn number 3 as we get our first yellow flag of the night, as that will bring it on out. We'll go and try and figure out what happened here. I believe the 11 now gets that car rolling, but we are under yellow flag for the first time tonight, and Jackson Lewis did not want to see that. As we see, oh, contact 4 wide, just didn't make it work. Blake Steele and Bobby Mattingly get involved, and you can see the accordion through the field, about 5 cars getting a piece of it. Somehow our leader, Jackson Lewis, right there on the binders hard, but Blake Steele and Bobby Manley definitely had a history with each other, but 4 wide just not making it work as they tried to get around Michael Guerin, who seemed to have lost those tires, but a lot of cars getting some contact throughout that. And man, that 4 wide racing action had to come to an end here, and it finally did here on lap 67 of 100. Alrighty, folks, we are now under pacing that wreck between the 11 and the 3M, and a lot of cars getting involved. One car on pit road finally gets that car rolling, is that 13T of Trevor Manley, but that car looks pretty hurt. That might be the end of our race, but we'll have to see. But don't go anywhere, folks. If you're a fan of Trevor Manley, we got to be talking to him at the end of tonight because he does pick up tonight's championship here. As we stay under the pace laps, the lucky dog last time by was the number 5 of, the number 9 of Dan Lloyd. Lloyd back on the lead lap here tonight. So that puts 16 cars on the lead lap. Once we go back green flag racing, it looks like our third in points, Brandon Marlowe, is going to be our first guy outside looking in. But right now, it is the choose time. It is the Delaware double file restart. Dave Payne will elect the high side. That moves Aaron Kirby down low. And of course, Jackson Lewis all by himself out in front. Jackson Lewis definitely didn't want to see this yellow flag. How much more tire does the 7 have? What does the field have left? The likes of the 98 of Justin Thompson, the 91 of Aaron Kirby, the 38 of Dave Payne, the 789 of Garrett Marshall. We'll find out here as Jackson Lewis on the loud pedal here. We go back to green flag racing action. One car big time out of sorts. That was the 78 machine of Garrett Marshall. 78 of Michael Guerin. Guerin blowing off that right rear end, trying to hang on to it. He got shuffled all sorts of out of sorts on that start, and looks like continue to lose a handful of spots as Guerin out of pace. Now battle for the race lead. Jackson Lewis under fire from the 91 machine of Aaron Kirby. Lewis up top, Kirby down low. This could be the first battle for the race lead here all night long here on lap number 69. Jackson Lewis will now park it on the top side, trying to take care of that right rear as much as he can for these last 30 laps. Aaron Kirby going to try and keep him honest in second. Here comes that 98 of Justin Thompson. He has Joseph Grandy right in tow as Dave Payton now falls to P number 5. Payton got to try and get up to that high side, and it looks like he will not. Now here comes Garrett Marshall in that 789 Designs car. Same with the 53 machine of Cam Tucker. Looks like Trevor Mattingly did not get that car rolling out there on the speedway, so Mattingly's night comes to an early end. You don't see that too often, and we'll be talking to him though in the post-race stuff. So if you're a Mattingly fan, don't go anywhere. We still got a word to talk with our season 2 champion. Further on back, Mesmer trying to get in the top 10 here again tonight. He's working over the top side of Jordan Tucker as we get a yellow flag for the second time here tonight. As I believe that was the 78 machine of Michael Guerin. He is slow on the inside, and we'll take a look to see what happened to bring out the yellow flag. It looks like Guerin already maybe off the pace here, and it looks like, yeah, that maybe that right rear tire going flat because that thing whipped around on its own all by itself. I believe maybe that right rear gone on that car as Michael Guerin single car spin will go to the back, but Brandon Marlowe now back on the lead lap. he will be tonight's wave round here on the dirt, here with 73 down, 27 left in tonight's season finale. Alrighty, folks, we are back. Aaron Kirby now gets the choose. He will, of course, choose the top side here. That will move Joseph Grandy up into the inside of row number 2. Everyone else going to line up in their respective lines, but Jackson Lewis able to hold off Aaron Kirby there, who has enough left in the tank to make it the distance. Our second restart getting back underway, but Jackson Lewis once again leading the field to the green flag. Through number 3 and 4, the field will come. Jackson Lewis on the loud pedal here. We go back to green flag racing action here. Jackson Lewis will put it right against the wall there. Aaron Kirby in second, and let's jump on board with Aaron Kirby looking back at the rest of the field. Kirby having Joseph Grandy right there on the back bumper here, as he'll dive it into this top side, and you can see these guys laying the quarter panel on corner entry. One car a little bit sideways. That was 66 of Jordan Tucker. He's able to save it. It looks like Guerin will take that thing pit side. That right rear tire, I've heard, is blistered as we got a battle for the race lead here. Aaron Kirby to the point. He was able to get the job done on Jackson Lewis as we get a yellow flag. Did Kirby get the job done before the yellow? I do not know, as I believe Chuck Darling, one of the cars involved, that car, I believe, looking pretty hurt on the right side. We'll wait till he gets, as we go to the right side, and yeah, you can see the damage to that 88 machine has the right front completely off the car. So we're going to try and take a look at the yellow flag, see what brought it out here tonight, as we take a look at the 88 of Chuck Darling here, kind of towards the back, minding his own business. Had to have something. Oh, as the 66 already slow up top. Darling getting on the binders, trying to avoid, and gets to the back of Marlowe, but has an even bigger hit to the wall, and that is what does it to take off that right front. As you can see, he leaves that tire behind, but we got to kind of go further on back in that, folks, and see what happened to the 66 to see what brought him facing the wrong direction here tonight. Looks like Tucker trying to struggle a little bit with that tire and throws it up to the top side, and Ron Hart had a run, and Hart didn't have enough time to react. Bobby Manley, innocent bystander. Jacob Laster gets a piece of it. Same, man, I think Brandon Marlowe just slipped by with getting some help from Chuck Darling. I mean, we're going to ride on board with Brandon Marlowe, see if he did get a piece of it, because that was very close, but I think he just squeaked on by. Don't ask me what lane he had. He is on the binders, sideways. Wow, that car just clears in front of the nose of the 37, and Marlowe gets away with only a little bit of rear end damage from the 88, but it looks like Chuck Darling terminal damage to that car. So Aaron Kirby did get the job done to just beat Jackson Lewis at the line, so he will lead the field to green. Jackson Lewis will elect the top side. That moves Joseph Grandy down low, so Aaron Kirby trying to go for his first feature win here at ASRC. He's got to hold him off for 25 laps here to get the job done, and if he does it, man, we will have one excited guy down in victory lane. But first, he has to complete these next 25 off of an early jump here. Aaron Kirby wasting no time. He'll jump on the loud pedal. We go back to green flag racing action, as Kirby will take it easy on corner entry. Knows he has the room, but get a monster drive off Jackson Lewis door to door with Joseph Grandy for second. Lewis will jump the cushion. He'll get a piece of the wall. That will allow Grandy to take over second. Now here comes Justin Thompson in the 98. What does he have for the guy that led the most laps here tonight? That seems to be fading with a worn right rear. Once again, Lewis in the wall in turns number 3. That car is fading in a hurry. Jackson Lewis trying to do everything he can to hang on to that race car, as Justin Thompson now trying to take over that 3rd position. Thompson looks like he will clear here in turn number 3. Once again, Lewis in the wall. He is consistent, but consistently getting that wall, that is not helping his cause. Aaron Kirby likes what he's seeing in the mirror, as further on back, Dan Lloyd had some sort of issue, I believe, with Jacob Laster. Laster sits, I believe, 1 lap down, so not sure what happened there, as it looks like Ron Hart with an issue. He's down in the grass, so something definitely happened on the backstretch. As we look up now to the race lead here with 20 laps to go, Aaron Kirby leading the way over Joseph Grandy in 2nd. Grandy trying to keep Kirby honest here for this race lead. Grandy doing a great job entering high, nice and straight, able to get a great run as Kirby a little bit lower, yawing that car, letting it slide on up, and then getting a good run from that inside line. This could be a great battle here for the race lead with inside of 20 laps to go. Almost contact there between Aaron Kirby and Joseph Grandy. We got a deck cam of Aaron Kirby, and now we're looking at Joseph Grandy sneaking to the top side. Kirby's going to shut the door down the front stretch. Here comes Grandy down low. Aaron Kirby up top, Joseph Grandy down low, and they stay side by side. Joseph Grandy not able to get it done, but he'll go right back up to that top side, get that big run through the corner, and here he comes on corner exit. Aaron Kirby trying to take away all the lines he can here tonight to pick up his win. He's driving his heart out, but Joseph Grandy wants it just as bad. He's racing for his first ever dirt ASRC feature win. These guys both, the top, I think 4, have never been to victory lane. These guys all racing their heart out. They all want it more than the next, but only one of them can do it. Further on back, Tim Mesmer trying to work over Jackson Lewis. He has Bobby Manley in tow. Mesmer now up into 7th. These guys racing hard for these positions as we get some cars fading throughout the field, some still moving on up. One car moving in the right direction, Tanner Hutchins, but he needs another yellow. He's about 2.5 seconds back as Hutchins once again gets a piece of the wall. Bobby Manley will slide job both Jackson Lewis and Mesmer for that spot. Now, Bobby Manley up on the top lane. Mesmer will slide him. Here comes Bobby Manley back on the inside line. Bobby Manley will now throw it on down here in 3. He will just clear Mesmer. That doesn't get much closer than that. Mesmer slams on the binders, turns the car hard left, and able to get clear. Now Bobby Manley, even bigger slide job from the 3M, but that he had to wait a while to get on the gas. And now Mesmer able to get clear and try and set sail. As now Bobby Manley gets a piece of the wall. As now Garrett Marshall trying to get around the 7 of Jackson Lewis. Great racing throughout the field here tonight. As some faders, it looks like Jordan Tucker, Blake Steele, who did get some damage, Dave Payton, all falling in the wrong direction. Same with Jackson Lewis, who now might be outside of the top 10. If Brandon Marlowe, who at one point was a lap down, is now up into P number 10. Out in front, the 3-car battle has closed on up. As problems for the 53, Cam Tucker with some big time damage. He will pull that thing to the infield and call it a night. I believe he jumped the cushion. That is a heartbreak for the 53, as just Joseph Grandy will do the same from 2nd. He will jump the cushion and he will get a piece of the wall. He will get Tanner Hutchins. Hutchins will have some big time damage, and that is some big implications late in the race, as Hutchins was coming from the back to the front once again, and he will tag the 518 machine of Joseph Grandy, who was very, very wounded. Wow. We take a look here at the replay, and running in 2nd place, Joseph Grandy. Like I said, folks, these drivers driving their hearts out, trying to get their first ASRC feature win, and Grandy will just jump the cushion that ever so much, and he will clobber the wall. And as he sits up there trying to tow Tanner Hutchins right there trying to avoid, just doesn't get it clear. Right rear clips him, and that sends him head on into the wall. As, oh man, that is a tough break for both these guys, as we'll ride on board with Joseph Grandy. I mean, it's a game of inches here at the dirt track of Charlotte. We saw Grandy entering higher than anyone else here tonight, and you can see just gets a piece of that wall, and that will send him just in that opening, rips off that right front, and he knows his night is over. And you know he is frustrated from that because he was going for it, leaving nothing left on the table, and that what is everyone is doing here tonight at the dirt track of Charlotte. As we are now inside of 10 laps to go, single file restart. Aaron Kirby leading the field to green. Kenny Holdapp Bay, Justin Thompson, or Tim Mesmer off of turn number 4. We go back to green flag racing here inside of 10 laps to go. Aaron Kirby will lead the field in contact here as Justin Thompson on the back bumper of the 91. Thompson looking for his first win. Kirby looking for his first win. And here comes Mesmer looking for his first win. And look at this, folks. Bobby Mattingly has driven on back up to the front. Mattingly looking for his first win here at ASRC as well. Top 5 all looking for the same. Justin Thompson, slider into the wall though. That will open up the door for Mesmer, maybe even Bobby Mattingly. This allows Aaron Kirby out in front to get on clear. As now Justin Thompson looking for any sort of opening. He knows he might have just thrown it away with that move. The slider just going a little over the cushion. That would do it. And where did this guy come from? Brandon Marlowe up in the top 5. He was once a wave around car. He's now up there, might have a shot at it before it's all over. Aaron Kirby continues to lead the way. This time by, we see an open palm from the flagman. 5 circuits around for the season finale as Aaron Kirby leads the way over Tim Mesmer and Justin Thompson, who has come back from that slider. He knows what not to do as he will try it again. Bobby Mattingly will slide it on in there, tries to look for an opening, nothing there. Thompson, Mesmer, door bang off at turn number 4, nothing there. Now Mesmer goes to the inside. He won't clear Kirby. Kirby has a run on the top side. Mesmer now will try it again. He will sail it down into 3. He will get clear. Here comes Aaron Kirby. He'll crack that car sideways. 3 laps to go here tonight at the dirt track of Charlotte. Aaron Kirby now huge slider. He will park it on the nose of the 327. Here comes Jacob Lassner. Where did Lassner come from? Lassner coming like a gunshot out of a cannon, let's say. I can't even talk because Jacob Lassner up to second with 2 laps to go, and he's looking for the win. Lassner on his own. What does he have left? Tim Mesmer looking for his first win. Same with Justin Thompson. 1 more circuit around. Mesmer will lead the white flag. Will he lead the checkered? As, wow, Lassner is there. He will make contact. He will turn him. Contact some more as Jacob Lassner. Somehow Mesmer will hang on to it. Here comes Justin Thompson. They will door bang off at turn number 4. Brandon Marlowe wins it. Holy smokes. I am speechless, folks. There is not much that can leave me speechless, but somehow Tim Mesmer on the backstretch does a full 360 and not only does it, keeps the momentum and finishes 4th. Aaron Kirby, best career finish in 3rd. Justin Thompson, best career finish. And Brandon Marlowe, where did he come from? He picks up the win. Holy smokes, folks. If you were entertained, I don't know what you're watching because I was left speechless. And Jacob Lassner definitely could have kept his foot in it, but he didn't want to win like that. He lifts and he'll finish 5th as, wow, that was a finish. We're going to go to commercial break so I can catch my breath, and we'll be back to talk to the top 3. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at the Dirt Track of Charlotte. Sorry for the extended commercial break. I had to catch my breath, and I had to make sure everyone else was caught their breath as well. But first, we'll be dialing up our third place finisher here tonight. His career best finish. That is the 91 of Aaron Kirby. Aaron, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I have a hard copy.
Alrighty, man. You finally end up on the podium tonight. You had a great shot at the win. Man, tell us about your race and how you thought it was maybe going to happen.
Well, I mean, so obviously with the new tire model, it's play the waiting game, right? I knew we had 100 laps. I did not crack over half throttle till lap 65. And I'm like, all right, here we go. So I started getting on it a little bit, and I'm moving my way forward, and next thing you know, somehow I ended up in the lead. And I was like, okay. But I knew, what was his name? Grandy. I knew he had tires left too. So I'm like, well, he's going to race me hard. He's going to make me push hard. And then one caution, I hear, well, Marlowe got a lap back. Next caution, I hear Lassiter's got a lap back. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is not going to go well. So I was praying for no more cautions. And then Grandy, apparently, I don't know, I haven't went back and watched it, ate the wall. And when he ate the wall, I thought, okay, all right, I might have something here. But I didn't realize, and I still have no idea who that was behind me. But he was all over me. I mean, obviously didn't have much tire left. But I thought, well, if I could hold on. Next thing you know, here's Marlowe and Lassiter. I'm like, oh, I went from first to fifth in a matter of a corner. And I'm like, this is not cool. So obviously I just kind of put my nose down and run through the middle, and then they all kind of wadded up. I tried to avoid as best I could. And once it was to the line, it was hammered down and hope for the best, you know? So, definitely an awesome feeling to finally get in a podium spot. It seems like this has not been my year. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. So this is super exciting.
Yeah, I was going to say, after a tough season, Aaron, you ended at the season finale on the podium. I mean, like I said, you got to feel ecstatic, especially racing for a win in the closing laps like that, and then end up on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, the car felt awesome with that line. And what's funny is, you know, Trevor ended up getting wrecked up. So he just sat and watched. And he was the one telling me, he's like, just run what you're doing. What you're doing, you're pulling them. So just keep doing it. All I was trying to do was keep the car straight as I could. So that really wasn't like a tactic line for going fast, but it ended up being the fastest line. And so I felt like I was still conserving enough. And no, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that it was. You had a great battle with a lot of different drivers, Aaron. Excited to see you on the podium. That was a heck of a race. And Aaron, I mean, going to next season, I think you got to continue riding this high, and hopefully you'll be back here in the future.
Oh, I hope to be. Hopefully about 2 more spots up.
There you go, Aaron. I know you wanted that win so bad. I said for a while, the top 5 driving their hearts out, all searching for their first win at ASRC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got a couple people I want to thank, if that's cool. I don't want to take too much time, but I want to give a huge shout out to the people that sponsor my real car too, like Anytime Towing and all those guys. But you got Joe Rush with the American All-Star Crate Series. He's watching, and I've got them on my car, and I work with those guys week in and week out. Awesome crate series and awesome people to work for. And ASRC, obviously, like I've ended up kind of becoming part of the family with you guys, and looking forward to what the next season's going to bring. And Trevor Mattingly, T Matt Speed Shop, and Bobby and Tanner and all those guys from Kentucky Motorsports. Trevor really pushes me to do better every week, and he's a weird little prodigy on this thing. So I think he ended up locking down the championship. So super awesome for him. Like I said, thank all my teammates. Thank you, Brett, for this awesome broadcast, and Zach and everybody for the league. And I just really appreciate everybody.
Awesome stuff, Aaron. Always great to have you in the booth. Glad we got to talk to you this season. Aaron, you have yourself a great rest tonight, and continue riding this high till next season in the fall.
All right. Thank you so much.
All righty, folks. That was our 3rd place finisher, Aaron Kirby. Now we'll dial up P number 2, his best career finish at ASRC. It is Justin Thompson. Justin, you got a copy. It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, I do.
All righty, Justin. I mean, going through this race, tell us about it. Tire saving at the beginning, and then going at it there at the end. Oh, so close. And then that wild last lap.
Yeah, we started off fast for an EOL before we hit the grid. Internet was doing a little bit of funky stuff right before start, so I asked for an EOL, which was going to play into the tire saving strategy. And I rode around about quarter throttle till about lap 35, 40, and caught up to Aaron. Got behind Aaron, rode behind him and David for about 20 or so laps till we got that first yellow around lap 60, I think. Still wasn't pushing it too hard after the restart, just trying to save enough to where I had something at the end. And then we got that caution would tend to go, and I started feeling the right rear going right before that yellow come out a little bit. And them last few laps, boy, it was scary. I was getting super sideways, getting into the corner, and then Timothy gets past me. I'm just like, I'm not going to fight it too hard. Then I get past Aaron somehow, and Lassiter's right there. Lassiter gets around me, and I'm just riding behind them, and I'm like, they're racing awfully hard. They're going to wreck. So I was like, I'm right here in the catbird seat. I'm about to get my first win in my 3rd, 4th start of the season, 3rd, 4th start of the league. I was like, if they're racing this hard, something's gonna happen here. And lo and behold, Lassiter gets into the back of Tim, and I just chose wrong going into turn 3. I didn't know where Lassiter was gonna go. I tried to go below him, and our cars got hooked, and I just couldn't get away from him, couldn't get back on the gas or nothing, and it allowed Marlowe to get by me. It was a good race. It was really good race for what it is, with the track getting us slick and tires and all the different strategies. I had fun.
Yeah, that was a heck of a race. I can't wait to even go rewatch as a lot of craziness happened. But Justin, you come in mid-season just about with these guys. You put on a show. I mean, you've been, it seems like most, if not all the time, very quick when it comes to qualifying, picking up heat wins, and being oh so close when it comes to feature time. What might be the difference, and what do you think about racing this group of guys?
I like racing this group of guys. I mean, it's got a very spread out, but it's very spread out, but it's very close at the same time, and talent gap. I mean, for the most part, we all know who's winning championship. I mean, that's besides the point. Trevor's always been in a different league of his own. But the rest of us, we can all race together really good. Seems like everybody's got a lot of respect for each other on the track, and that's something I was taught at a young age. Just be respectful, race everybody clean, and eventually you'll win some, eventually you don't. So it goes around and it comes around. Just as long as you treat everybody with respect, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, and that's the name of the game, especially in real life. You don't quite see that a lot on iRacing, especially in the dirt officials, if anyone's ever raced those. But here at ASRC, we definitely try and promote that and encourage that. And I tell you what, I think we have a great group of guys to do that here. And Justin, you are definitely one of them. Can't wait to see what you have. Hopefully you plan to run the whole season next season.
I'm gonna try. I travel a lot for work, so I'm in and out of town a lot. So as long as I'm at home, I'm gonna try to run all the season, see what I can do, see if I can give Trevor a run for his money.
There you go. We look forward to that for the fall season. But before I let you go, Justin, and celebrate your best finish here at ASRC, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who we got to thank on this 98 machine.
Sim Magic Sim Racing Hardware, Team CFM, Chris, Blake, and Evan, all the guys at CFM, they're great. Vic Hill Racing Engine, Sweet Victory Apparel, and there's a billion others that I'm forgetting just for the simple fact that I haven't done this in a long time.
Well, man, I'm sure next season when you decide to show up, you'll get some more practice and thank whoever else you got to thank. But a great interview, Justin. Always great talking to you. Best of luck here and continue to use this momentum here in the off season and the start of the next season. Justin, you have yourself a great rest of the night.
You as well.
Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane here tonight and talk to the man of the hour, that being the 37 machine of Brandon Marlowe. Brandon, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Alrighty, Brandon. Man, what a hectic race. You at one point a lap down had to go race your way for the lucky dog. You get it. And then race your way through the field. And then a hectic last lap to kind of snatch one away here with a photo finish. Brandon, tell us about your race and what you thought of this 100-lapper for the season finale.
That was definitely a crazy race. The tire model makes these 100-lap races a whole different animal. I didn't realize the leader was on us like that because I had a few other cars behind me there, and trying to watch the relative, and they all just kind of got past me, including the leader. And so then, we were just stuck waiting to, try to catch a caution and get the lucky dog, and then lining up at the back of the field after getting the lucky dog, you almost need a second caution to get past the other cars that are a lap down. And so that part all worked out. And then just at the end, man, it was just a lot of hard racing on worn out tires. I don't think anything from any of those guys was really intentional. It was just after 100 laps, coming to the checkered, and everybody's stuff was spent, and just going for it. And luckily, I was just able to step in there and be the beneficiary.
Yeah, because Brandon, with about 10 to, less than that, 5 to go, all of a sudden I'm like, where did Brandon Marlowe come from? He's sitting in 5th and picking off spots. I mean, how much tire did you have left trying to make those sliders late in that race?
Man, I'm not sure. I haven't checked yet, but it didn't feel like much. It was definitely becoming a handful there late in the race. I could see those guys up in the front, were struggling too, if not, even a little bit more. And so just trying to, the top was still dominant, but you have to maneuver around people and try to make passes. So you had to be real calculated, throwing sliders and trying to clear them, and still try to keep your momentum up, not spin the tires. Like I said, it was that last restart from there to the checkered was just kind of hectic.
Yeah, that it was, Brandon. A lot going on, but now we got to change the title a little. Best season for you yet. 3 wins this season and coming home third in points. I mean, putting it all together, 13 long weeks. I mean, how does it feel to once again be battling your teammate and trying to keep Trevor Manley honest there? You and Jacob always having a great points battle, it seems like each and every season.
Oh yeah, it's a blast for sure. You know, I thought he was gonna come in there and school us all with the saving tires there at the end when he rode past me on the bottom. It's the points deal. It's always fun, you know, just something to add to the season. You know, it feels good to be in the top three on the podium. Uh, the tire model coming out, you know, halfway through the season, I think that really shook things up. Um, it could be a big factor going in the next season, you know, keeping things a little bit more all over the place, just you know, for everyone, just because it's such a different strategy. So it'll be interesting to see once the next season starts. But yeah, congrats to uh, Trevor on the championship, Jacob on second, and you know, it's definitely a fun season.
Yeah, that it was fun to watch, Brandon, as you pick up 3 wins this season. I mean, what do you think was the factor? It seems like, especially after the tire update, that 37 machine started rolling, especially late in these races.
Yeah, that helps for sure because it you know it makes it the door more wide open for strategy and different people to take advantage of it. Like that last restart, you know, I definitely didn't think you know we'd be sitting here the winners of the race. Like I said, we just right place, right time was the beneficiary, you know, of all that, and I feel like the majority of all that was the result of the tire model, just tires wearing out and guys going for it there at the end. So, um, said it just tire wear just definitely opens up the door for a lot of different strategies, and so you really got to think these races out a lot more now.
Yeah, and that you do, and maybe I think you can go in the one of the top tiers of one of the smarter drivers out there, whether saving tires or making moves, Brandon, because you always seem to have a dog in the fight when it comes to the end of these races. Brandon, we got to wrap up another great season. You bring home third in points, ended it on a high note. Another visit to Victory Lane, Brandon, for the final time this season. I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank here down in Victory Lane and also third in points.
First off, I just want to give a shout out again to Trevor on the championship and a teammate Jacob for second in points. Congratulations to him. Um, thank all the guys with Hot Lap Heroes, all the teammates there. They're always, you know, helping, hosting practice races, trying to get better at this stuff, trying to figure out the strategy. Got to thank 789 Designs for the wrap on the car. If you need iRacing wrap, look him up on Facebook. Always knocks it out of the park. All the guys, Zach and Dave at ASRC, for putting this league on, giving us a place to race. You with the broadcast, it always looks awesome when I go back and watch it. You do a great job, and shout out to my wife for letting me come in here and race with these guys and have a little bit of fun. And definitely my number one fan, my daughter Addison, for always cheering me on.
Alrighty, Brandon. Always a great pleasure talking to you. It seemed like we talked to you most, if not all nights this season. But Brandon, walking away with the win with probably the best and craziest race on this season, and probably one of the best of dirt racing ever seen, let's say. So Brandon, huge congrats to walk away with the win and the third place. Brandon, you have yourself a great off season, and I can't wait to see what you have to bring here for the fall season.
Thank you. You too.
Alrighty, folks, that was our third in points and our winner here tonight, Brandon Marlowe. Now we'll dial up our second in points, that going to the 151. Had a shot there at the end, just fell short with the contact, and I think the gentleman on out lifted and didn't want to win that way. We'll talk to that driver that finished second here tonight. It is Jacob Laster. Jacob, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth.
Yeah, I got you, Brett.
Alrighty, Jacob. Man, you don't finish on the podium, but you definitely deserve to here tonight. I know that contact definitely not your MO. You hate to be a part of it, but man, tell us about that strategy and where did you come from? I mean, I didn't even see you on the relative, and all of a sudden you're battling for the race lead.
I just saved a bunch, like always. I knew we'd have to. It'd been 100 laps, and um, really surprised. The track was really good there towards the end of that thing. That's why I was able to move up through there with the tires I had. But like I said, just saved a bunch, and I really didn't think it'd work out with us going a lap down. I think we were like the third or fourth car lap down there, and I kept thinking, "Man, I'm not gonna get a caution at the right time." And sure enough, was able to get a caution with like 10 to go and got our lap back. And then it was just a matter of not screwing up. And I hated I wrecked Timothy. I've been fine finishing 1-2 there, and I just got a really good run for the tires I had, and he kind of turned off the hill, and bitch got locked together, and I couldn't get off of him. I let off the gas, but it was too late.
Yeah, it definitely looked like that. You had to run with the tires, and like we said, Jacob, definitely not your MO. It just sad it had to happen that way because I think you would have definitely cleared him and sailed on to your second victory of the season. But looking at the season, Jacob, you finished second in points, having one win this season. You and Brandon in an intense battle for second. It seems like I was telling Brandon, you two always on top of each other in points, always put on a great battle.
Yeah, we do. Me and Brandon are good buddies, and certainly if I can't finish up front, I want him to, and that's kind of the way it worked out tonight. Um, like I said, I thought we'd get a caution when that happened. I didn't realize Timothy kept going, and um, then I looked down at my relative, seeing he was there, so I was trying to let Timothy back by, and however it finished, and I didn't realize that Brandon that I held up the other guys too. So I hate that I screwed up for everybody, but I'm glad Brandon got the win, and for sure, and I'm happy he was able to get a podium in the points.
Yeah, that was probably, I mean, that was probably the best dirt race I've ever seen on iRacing. Probably one of the greatest. Hopefully that gets shared on around because that was awesome. 3, 4, 5 wide race and comers and goers, and then a crazy finish to end it all. I mean, Jacob, that was awesome to see. Glad you could be a part of it. And man, Jacob, finishing second this season, once again, oh so close, but not quite enough. I mean, we had a big update, that tire model change. I mean, how did that affect the second half of the season for you, and how did you manage that? I know you got some smart guys at that Hot Lap Heroes crew.
Yeah, I mean, really, we just, like I said, I would get on a little bit, maybe 30 minutes before we raced, and try to run a few laps and see what the tire wear off was, because it varies with the setups. And if we do the same deal next year where the setups are built, I think if we mess around with some stagger, we might get with Dave and see about trying to get to where the tires don't burn off so bad. And maybe that'll help the racing a little bit, where as far as having to save so much, sometimes if you just set up a little bit, you can save, so your tires don't burn off as bad. So, we'll get with Dave and work with him and see if we can come up with something, that way it promotes a little bit better tire burn off than what iRacing has set up. It's a simulator, yeah, but there's always going to be some imperfections there, and the tire burn off is so drastic that it needs to be adjusted somehow or another.
Yeah, it definitely is very drastic, especially for a 100-lap main event. We saw people like you and even Brandon go a lap down, save your stuff, get lucky with the lucky dogs, and race your way back for a win. Jacob, another great season in the book. I mean, what do you think let's say the highlight or the most memorable uh, race or kind of situation was this season?
Well, I only got one win on the year, so I'd have to say that one. Just the way that race kind of played out was awesome, and having the ability to run the bottom like I did, and the tires that I had left, that was good. But I mean, there was good racing all season, man. This is a good solid group, and nobody in this league does anything intentional, and that's one thing I like about this league is there's nobody in here that's cussing and mad and throwing headsets at each other and all that crap. So, that makes for a big deal. Makes us want to come back when you got a good league to run.
Yeah, Jacob, we heard from Justin Thompson kind of halfway in the season. He joined and he said there's a lot of respect. And, you see that less and less in real life and especially on iRacing. And I joked around with him in the interview and said, if you ever jumped in a dirt official, you'll see why people don't really like running dirt. But you come here to ASRC and it's a whole different ball game. I mean, some awesome racing, and we got to thank all the drivers that jump in each and every week.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I've raced with Thompson a lot, and we've had some really good battles, and he's always clean and a respectful guy. So, like I said, I mean, the group that we got's a solid group, and if we get even half that group to come back to start the season next year, I think we'll have a heck of a season for sure. But we'll see how it plays out, and hopefully everything works out with the schedule, and we can come back for sure and run.
All righty, Jacob. Well, another great season, another season in the books. You finish on the podium again, second in points to Trevor Madley. So, Jacob, before we let you go and celebrate another great season, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank one last time in the 51 machine.
First and foremost, I got to thank all the guys at Hot Lap Heroes. Just an awesome group to be a part of, and we was all running it together tonight and trying to decide what lap to go. And it's when you got a good group to race with, it makes a big difference. And hats off to Brandon on the win, third in the points, and hats off to Trevor, obviously, for winning the championship and doing a heck of a job like always. And gotta say, shout out to 789 Designs for the wrap on the car, Max Green, the Sud Shop, you guys for doing the broadcast. Really enjoy watching the replays, Brett, Dave, and Zach, and all the ones that put the league on, give us a place to run. Really appreciate their hard work they put in. And then lastly, I got to thank the wife for taking care of the little one as always.
All righty, Jacob. Well, always a pleasure having you out here on the seasons. Always great talking to you. The other great mention, I forgot to bring it up while we were talking about it. You picked up the All-Star win this season at the Chili Bowl. I mean, impressive to get cars around there, but you pick up the win there. That was something special as well. So, Jacob, you have yourself a great rest of the night. Have a great off season and come back next season. Hopefully, one spot better. Jacob, you have a great one. We'll talk to you later.
I appreciate it.
All righty, folks. That was Jacob Laster finishing second in points. And now we'll talk to the man. He wrapped it up by taking the green flag tonight. He didn't get the race he wanted to, but he still brings it home with his second championship in a row. It is T-Matt himself, Trevor Mattingly. Trevor, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, man. So, going to tonight, your race ends a little bit early, not the result you wanted. Tell us how your race was developing and then what happened to end your night early.
Yeah, we definitely had some speed. Felt like we could have been there at the end. I was able to get in the garage and look and see the tire percentage that I had 60 laps into the race, and I felt like I'd saved pretty good, but it's racing and that stuff happens, so you can't get too mad over it.
Yep, just sadly mostly an innocent bystander in that one. Nowhere to go as that was a big wreck involving multiple cars. But Trevor, looking at the big picture, you walk away with your second consecutive Pro Late Model Championship. Here, you walk away with the Season 2 trophy. I mean, how does that feel with the caliber of guys that show up each and every week, the new guys that jump in half the season? I mean, what are your thoughts with season number 2 wrapped up?
It feels good, man. I've said it multiple times throughout the couple weeks we've been running, and it's a hell of a time to come out and run every weekend. So to pick up the win, it's just icing on the cake. Week in and week out, I come in and give her my all, and we picked up another win. Don't get to run near as much on this new tire model. I don't have near as many laps as I'd like to have, but maybe we can change that over the fall and get some more laps in this thing.
Yeah, get an off season to work on some stuff, get that thing dialed in, and yeah, that's a talking point I talked about with the last 2 and points below you. Let's say the tire model coming in mid-season, throwing a huge wrench in everyone's race. Now all of a sudden everyone's tire saving. It seems like first half to 3/4 of the race. I mean, Trevor, how did you adapt to that to hold on to the championship lead and then walk away with the championship once it's all said and done?
Well, the first race out with the tire model, we absolutely just blew it. And we learned from there, just tried to get better each week. And by now, we've kind of all, I think, got it figured out, and just everyone knows not to blow their tires off in the first half of the race, and kind of wait till the last half to race it out. But tonight kind of raced a little different because everybody ended up, there was 6 or 7 of us a lap down at one point, and then you see the leader just, he was fast then, but we got that caution and he just went backwards. So that's the game you got to play with this new tire model, and it's pretty cool. But I think it's a little aggressive, but that's uh, that's another conversation to be had elsewhere. We can't do nothing about that, so we're gonna run what we got and give her hell.
Yep, and Trevor, speaking about that run, what you got, everyone on the same exact setup. These are fixed setups, so everyone on the same stuff. So you proven that you got the skill and the driver capability when the playing field is level as it can be in racing, and you walk away with a champion once again, the class of the field.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It definitely feels cool to win 2 in a row, especially with the guys that run this. But next season, the throwing a couple more rules at it to see if we can get some more racing in the heat races and stuff, and I'm all down for it. So we'll see how next season goes, and we're gonna hope for same same result as this one.
Yeah, as I wouldn't expect anything less. You aim for the moon and you've hit it twice now in a row. We'll see if we can get it to hit 3 times. And yeah, we had pretty much the quote unquote Trevor Mattingly rule this season, where the winner of last season has to start in the back. You had to do that a couple times, Trevor. I mean, what'd you think of the rule when you first heard of it? And how'd you think of it now when the season is wrapped on up with another championship, even with that?
Makes for an interesting time for the guy that won. Um, I like it. I don't have a problem with it. It just shows that if you're fast enough, you should be able to, in 75 to 100 laps, get back to the front, especially with this tire model. Um, so yeah, I don't have a problem with it, man. It's fun.
Yeah, and that's the right attitude to have because, like you said just there, it's got to show that you guys have the passing ability, the racecraft to not only be fast, let's say, in qualifying, put it on the pole for a heat race and just walk away. You got to also be able to show that you can walk the walk when it comes to the racecraft of going through the field. So, Trevor, once again, season number 2 wrapped on up. You walk away with your second championship. Before we let you go and walk away with big trophy number 2, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you for the final time this season and let you thank who you got to thank for another championship.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, got to thank you guys for the league and the broadcast. Um, Zach and Dave, Tanner, and all them guys that run ASRC. Hell of a league, and I'll definitely be here till y'all hang it up on the dirt side for sure. Got to thank FMS Rapid Graphics, Aaron Kirby, um, the team, Tanner, Bobby, and Aaron. We all get on here and do our best. We all qualified pretty good and ran good in our heat races tonight, so it was a pretty good turnout. I got the poop end of the stick on the feature side, but I had a hell of a time watching, so that made for a even better as best as you can get. Anyway, got to thank all them guys over at Hot Lap Heroes. Congratulate Brandon and Jacob on the top 3 in the points, and those guys are definitely gonna be fast next season. So watch out for them. What else we got? We got Granny's Garage. Got to give Tanner a shout out. Uh, Dude helps me a ton on go kart stuff outside of this, and I can't thank him enough. So got to give him a shout out on here. And also Todd Cecil, he's watching. He watches every week. He helps me out with it too. So appreciate you guys, and see if we can get it done next season.
Alrighty, Trevor, a long list of sponsors and people to thank, and it seems like it always gets longer. That's a good sign of you're doing something right. So, Trevor, you have yourself a great night. Have a great off season, and I can't wait to see you pick it right back up next season when the fall dirt late model series rolls on around.
Sir.
Alrighty, folks, that was our Season 2 champion, Trevor Mattingly, picking up the championship, making it 2 in a row on the dirt. So, folks, we'll wrap it up here, get things rocking and rolling, get everyone out at a decent time because it is getting late. So, we'll head through the race results tonight for the season finale. Brandon Marlowe picking up his 3rd win of the season. 2nd going to Justin Thompson. 3rd is Aaron Kirby. 4th is Tim Mesmer, just coming up oh so close there. He saw the white flag, didn't see the checkered. 5th going to Jacob Laster, who was also oh so close in that. 6th going to Bobby Madley. 7th is Garrett Marshall. 8th is Daryl Larson. A great drive back up to the front in the number 5. 9th is going to Jackson Lewis. Tried hard. He was hoping for no yellows. Sadly, some fell late, but able to hang on to a top 10. He will finish 9th. 10th going to everyone's favorite driver and the 38 of Dave Payton. 11th is Jacob Smith. 12th is Blake Steele. 13th is Jordan Tucker. 14th is Cam Tucker. 15th is Tanner Hutchins. 16th, heartbreak for Joseph Grandy. Just jumped that cushion. Not the night he wanted. He definitely had a horse in it, it seemed. Dan Lloyd will finish 17th. 18th going to Ron Hart. 19th is Chuck Darling. 20th is Michael Guerin. 21st is Trevor Manley. And 22nd, and rounding out tonight's feature results, is Clifford Bellamy. So, folks, that will do it here for ASRC as another season of the Dirt Pro Late Models will wrap on up. Thank you to all the drivers that drive each and every week, put on a show, and make this series one of the best on the dirt with the racing action we see each and every week. Of course, we got to thank all the guys trying it out. We had 60 different drivers load into a session and try out the dirt here. And that is definitely some mind-boggling numbers. We got to thank all the fans watching each and every week, cheering on your favorite driver out on track. And, of course, we had a lot of great people in the YouTube chat lands. We had Caleb out there, Eric, Michael, Joseph, and Underfunded Racing. I believe that might have been Tim out there. So if that's the case, that's a tough one, Tim, and that hashtag is definitely true. As we got to give a huge thanks to everyone making it possible, including over at ASRC, Zach Heiser with the admin roles, putting on a great series, and Dave Payton helping out and helping the admin side of things. So I've been Brett the Jet from Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to tune in to Turn 3 throughout the week, as we have a lot of great racing action, a lot of great series, and of course, we got a new 87 series coming from ASRC here in a few weeks. You won't want to miss that. So, folks, thanks again for another great season. I mean, this is, like I said, folks, this will be a race for the history books. This top-tier dirt racing action here tonight we saw at the dirt track of Charlotte. So, once again, cannot stress enough, thank you to all the drivers putting on the great show. And that will do it for another season. Be sure to tune in, stay in the loop, because fall season just around the corner. We'll be back to bring some more racing action. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.